What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classic Climb blog, talking about today the real reasons Americans aren't returning to work. It's a fight for freedom. What does a fight for freedom means? As people are challenging the model, the original work 40 years, have like 10 years of retirement where you travel the world on the money you saved while you work 40 years from 20 to 60 and then 60 to 71 you get to travel the world. That model is being challenged left and right. Why? Because divorce, because of people moving around different parts of the country realizing they can have cheaper rent. People retraining, restructuring, learning new skills, deciding, oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that anymore, right? Relearning new things. That's why it's not working. Now, you're going to say, well, there's jobs out there. These people should take these jobs. And honestly, a lot of guys and a lot of girls, if they're figuring out ways to cobble together $3 to $4 grand a month income, they don't want a regular everyday show up 9 to 5 job. They don't want it. And this is why you see so many companies trying to figure out a way to be flexible. This is why you're starting to see areas say, oh, we'll have a 4-day work week. This is why you see Chick-fil-A going, hey, 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. And people are signing up by the 20,000 people signing up for the job application. Same, we had our virtual start a call center with Donald Spann come on. And in the mommy groups, the mommy blogs, they're posting his company, and over 65,000 applications came in. These people know ultimately, deep down inside, I want freedom. I want freedom to spend time with my children, freedom to cook dinner, freedom to watch the shows I want, freedom to walk around the neighborhood and just live a slower pace or at my pace type of life. And what's happening is, instead of them going, yeah, let me hear them run around and find a job, the most highest paying, grueling hour job, they go, I'd much rather figure out how that I can live and survive off less income. How can we survive off a smaller salary? Do we need to move further out? This is why you have all these people moving further out, right? They're moving to the country. They're moving further out to locations so that they can do what? Have a cheaper cost of living, work less, and it's a fight for freedom. It's truly a fight to say, I just don't like this rat race mentality. And whether people subconsciously know it or unconsciously know it, the more we talk about Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and when people read that book, oh my God, it changed my life. And I kind of laugh because I'm a military kid who's traveled the world, who's lived in multiple places, whose parents and family members own small businesses, own rentals. When I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I was like, oh, that's nothing. I mean, it's good, but it's not that great. So you're having people who are breaking free of the 9 to 5 business model, the work 40 years, get 10 years free model. And they're also seeing their grandparents live to 85, 90 years old, be bored, find more things to do, find a second career. You guys wouldn't believe it, but we have a ton of people who email the Classy Climb who are in their 70s and they're still working. And it's not always because they need the money. It's because they need something to do. And the original model that was sold to them doesn't work. It doesn't exist and it doesn't work for them. So part of why you're seeing so many Americans not work, why do you see so many men not in the workforce? As they said, there's 7 million men and not in the workforce. Are there a portion of these people hanging out, chilling all day, smoking marijuana, doing goofy stuff? For sure, there's a portion of that, of course. But there is a higher portion, I think, of people kind of cobbling together a lot of part-time work to make it work. Now, here's the conundrum for me. When I started seeing people work 2 and 3 jobs, and I did that for a while, my schedule was crazy. I was doing shifts here at the apartment complex in the day, then I'm delivering pizza at night, and then on the weekends I was the weekend manager for Lowe's, so I'm there all weekend, and really only time I got was a Sunday to go to church and rest and do it all over again. It's no type of life. And I did it for enough time to go, you guys are going to give me a full-time manager position? You just want me to work every single weekend? I'm out of here. Okay, this pizza delivery puts an extra 3 to 4 grand in my pocket a month, but what am I doing with the money? My body decided I was going to do a break. I had an appendix surgery, emergency appendix surgery, broke that. And then I had another surgery in the future. And what it showed me is that model is a temporary one. The hustler model, the run around working multiple shifts model is a temporary model. And I recommend it now that I talk about it on this channel, 2 to 5 years, and that's it. Even when people are starting to build companies, I'm like, I don't recommend you go crazy, hustle crazy on building a company. You build a, you work your 9 to 5, and then 5 to 9, you work on building your business, right? And you add staff as quickly as possible, because that is the only way it stays sustainable. There's a great book by Gary Keller called The One Thing. Go check that book out. The more you look at that book, the more people you add to the pyramid of productivity. And you're all fighting for one goal. The stronger, faster, harder that goal will get accomplished. That's why there's a pyramid in the book, right? And we talk about pyramid schemes, right? And so part of this year, as we restructure, as we grow, as we change, is recognizing that, there are going to be more Americans not working because they're looking for freedom. And the way the school system has kind of forced your hand as a parent, you're going to have more people homeschooling as a protest for freedom for their kids because they see the model not working. In America, in Europe, a gap year is just a guaranteed thing. What is a gap year? A gap year is a year where you essentially you travel. And you have to think about the cost of Europe, though, right? You're coming from London, you put a $50 ticket in, you're in Paris, or you're in Budapest, or you're in Montenegro, you're in Italy, you're in Sweden, you're in all these different places where you could work part-time and then turn around and keep traveling. So gap year makes sense for them. In America, I think what we're having is an adult gap year. I think we're having adults who are like, you know what I need? I need a gap year, right? And the debt that they have, right, between student loans, mortgages, and cars is why they can't have it the way they want. So that's why you see this real big push for the travel the way you do. But if you focus, if you really, really want to say, yeah, I just need a gap year, right? I just need an adult gap year. That's why I also see a lot of Americans not working. There's this disconnect of like the skills they need to get the jobs that pay really high, and the fact that they want a freedom break. And so you'll see somebody, teachers, right? Teachers Ubering so they can afford a big summer vacation. So they got 3 months off and they go work. They go work another job, right? And so teachers really don't get the vacation that they say they want. But that is all in the real reason why Americans aren't working, and some Americans aren't buying houses. This is partly why the mortgage industry kind of said, oh, no, we can give you a mortgage if you got 1 year in business and you got your taxes done and your information is put together. And so this becomes this, if you can show me the documentation and you got the score, I can get you through the door, right? And if we hear all the people talking about house hacking, a lot of times what this couple does, they'll do the house hack so they can get to a freedom point. Be very careful about that, though. We've seen plenty of horror stories of people overstaying their welcome. But I hope you understand this is why I'm talking about this. This is why I bring it up on the channel. This is why I bring up business funding and personal credit funding. And we have future partnerships with business trade lines and personal trade lines so that we can help everybody on this channel really grow themselves financially and personally. And also we have the Tech Tuesday videos for 3 years now because we wanted Americans to have an opportunity to find that freedom. How do you get it unless you try new things? It's not just knowing, it's in the doing. So this is your girl, Ericka, Classy Climb Blog from the Hub. Hope you enjoyed the show.